Okay, so some of you are asking for another video to help you with density equations. So hopefully this video here will help you with your density calculations. So let's begin. A sample of metal has a mass of 4.8 grams and a volume of the sample is 1.3 cubic centimeters. And the question is, calculate the density of the metal. So what we want is the density. So whatever it is that you want, that's what you're going to cover up in your triangle here. So I'm covering up density because I want that. And what it's telling me to do is take my m divided by v. So that's mass divided by the volume. So let's look at the equation, see if they give us the mass. It says mass of 4.8 grams. So 4.8 grams divided by, we need the volume. Do they give us the volume in the problem? It says the volume of the sample is 1.3 cubic centimeters. So now that we have our equation here, we just need to plug it in our calculator. So we have our calculator here, bring it on in. And I have 4.8 divided by 1.3 equals, and we have this long crazy number here, but we only want 2 sig figs because that's the least amount that we have. So we're going to round this to 3.7, and that's grams per cubic centimeter. And that would be our density. Okay, so let's look at a new problem. In this problem, we have a metal rectangle whose dimensions of 20.0 centimeters by 10.0 centimeters by 15.0 centimeters and a density of 6.3 grams per milliliter. And we want to know what is the mass. So there's our question, what is the mass? So the mass is what I want to cover up. I cover that up, and now I have my density times my volume. So density times volume. So we need to figure out, do we know what our density is? Do we know what our volume is? Well, first, let's look at density. It's right here. Density here is 6.3 grams per milliliter. And the volume, they don't really give us the volume, they give us the dimensions. And they also give us what shape it is. It's a rectangle. So if we know the dimensions, the volume of a rectangle is just the length times the width times the height. And we have those dimensions, so the volume is going to equal 20.0 times 10.0 times 15.0. So you can use a calculator if you like. I'll bring one in for you. So you have 20.0 times 10.0 times 15.0 equals, and we get 3,000. So that is our volume. That's what we'll plug in here. So we have density times our volume, 3,000. And what's the unit there? We had centimeters times centimeters times centimeters. So that would be cubic centimeters, but this density has milliliters. Well, you need to know that cubic centimeters are equal to milliliters. So it doesn't really matter. We can put milliliters here. And equals. So we have our 3,000. We're just going to times it by 6.3. Oh, sorry. Didn't get my point there. There we go. We have 18,900. And we were looking for mass, and that was measured in grams. So there's our answer for the mass. All right, so now that one's done, let's look at the next problem here. All right, so in this problem it says we want to find the volume. So that's really our question there, is that we want to find the volume of a sample of wood that has a mass of 95.1 grams and a density of 0.857 grams per cubic centimeter. So we're trying to find the volume, so we want to cover that up. And our triangle tells us what we need to do. Take our mass divided by our volume. So we need our mass divided by, our density to find it. And that's going to help us find the volume. So we need our mass. We look for an equation. It tells us the mass is 95.1 grams. And it tells us our density, clearly stated right there. So we take the 95.1 grams divided by 0.857 grams per cubic centimeter. And it's just as simple as that. We need our calculator again. So let me bring our calculator over. We have 95.1 divided by 0.857 equals, and we get this long number here. So go to the least amount of sig figs, which is 3. So we need 3 sig figs here. You have 1, 11, round it there. And we are looking for a volume. Our volume unit here is cubic centimeters. So that's how we find our volume.